Have you ever wondered what causes turbulence on a flight, making it feel like you're on a roller coaster in the sky? It's a common experience that can send a flutter of unease through even the most seasoned travelers. Picture this. You're soaring high above the clouds. Everything seems smooth, and suddenly the plane jolts. You grip your armrest, heart racing, and think, what just happened? Turbulence can feel frightening, but it's a normal part of flying, much like bumps in the road when you're driving. Think of air as an invisible ocean. Just as waves can rise and fall in water, air can shift and swirl due to various factors. One major cause of turbulence is changes in the wind. When fast-moving air collides with slower air, it creates eddies and currents that can shake the aircraft. It's similar to when you're swimming and you suddenly hit a patch of rough water. It's just nature doing its thing. Another factor is the landscape below. When planes fly over mountains or through different weather systems, the air reacts, causing turbulence. Imagine a boat bobbing up and down as it crosses over underwater rocks. The same principle applies to planes traveling through uneven airflows. And here's the surprising part. Pilots are trained to handle turbulence, and aircraft are designed to withstand it. While it can feel unsettling, turbulence is incredibly common and usually harmless. So, the next time you feel that shaky sensation, remember that it's just a part of the journey, and you're in good hands. So what causes turbulence? It's a mix of wind patterns, changes in air pressure, and even the geography below. Understanding this can make flying a little less daunting. What exactly causes turbulence? It starts with air movement. Imagine a river flowing through a landscape. In some stretches, the water glides smoothly, while in others, it swirls and bumps over rocks. That's a lot like how air flows in the atmosphere. Air travels in currents, and just like water, it can have different speeds and directions. When a plane flies through these varying pockets of air, it can feel like hitting a bump in the road. That's turbulence. It's a common experience, and it's usually nothing to worry about. And here's the surprising part. Turbulence doesn't only happen in clouds. While clouds often signal turbulent air, clear skies can be just as bumpy. This clear air turbulence occurs at high altitudes where fast-moving air, known as jet streams, meets slower-moving air. Think of it like walking in a wind tunnel. One moment, you're still, and the next, a gust sends you off balance. Pilots are trained to handle turbulence, and they can often anticipate it by monitoring weather reports and using onboard radar. It's incredibly rare for turbulence to cause serious problems. In fact, commercial planes are engineered to withstand much more than what turbulence can throw at them. So, next time you're in the air and feel that jiggle, just remember, it's just the plane dancing with the air currents, and it's all part of the journey. What actually causes turbulence? It might seem chaotic, but there are specific factors at play. First, let's talk about wind shear. This is when the wind changes speed or direction suddenly. Imagine driving down a straight road and suddenly hitting a patch of strong gusts that push your car sideways. In the air, planes can encounter wind shear at different altitudes. When they do, it can create a bumpy ride for a few moments. Then we have mountain waves. Picture a calm pond when you throw a stone into it, creating ripples that spread out. Mountains can do something similar to the air. As wind flows over the peaks, it causes waves in the air that can extend for miles. This can lead to turbulence even when you're flying far away from the mountains themselves. And here's the surprising part. Thermal currents also play a big role. These are columns of rising air caused by the sun heating the ground. Think of how steam rises from a pot of boiling water. As the ground warms up, it heats the air above it, causing that warm air to rise. When a plane flies through these rising columns, it can feel like hitting a speed bump in the sky. So, turbulence results from wind changes, mountain effects, and rising air currents. Each of these factors contributes to that bumpy sensation we sometimes feel while flying. Understanding this can make turbulence feel a lot less scary. And remember, it's a normal part of flying. Vocabulary: turbulence, wind shear, mountain waves, thermal currents. How do pilots know where turbulence is lurking in the skies? It's a bit like a driver checking a traffic app before hitting the road. Before every flight, pilots get detailed weather briefings that include forecasts for turbulence. These forecasts use advanced technology to analyze data from satellites, radar, and weather stations. But here's the surprising part. Pilots aren't just relying on those forecasts. They also get real-time reports from other aircraft flying in the same region. When an airplane encounters turbulence, the pilots can send out a quick message to alert others. This creates a network of information, helping everyone stay informed about where the bumpy patches are. Imagine you're driving through a city. If you hear from friends about a traffic jam ahead, you might take a different route to avoid it. Pilots do something similar. If they know that a certain area is choppy, they can adjust their altitude or change their flight path to find smoother air. This proactive approach helps to minimize turbulence, making your flight a lot more comfortable. In fact, pilots are trained to manage turbulence effectively. They understand how to handle the aircraft in these conditions, using techniques that keep you safe and secure. So, while you might feel those bumps every now and then, remember that pilots are equipped with the tools and knowledge to navigate through them. They're always working to provide you with the smoothest journey possible, just like a driver who knows the best back roads. Ever wonder if turbulence is actually dangerous? The good news is that it's incredibly rare for turbulence to cause any serious issues with the aircraft itself. Think of it like driving on a bumpy road. Your car can handle those bumps, and the same goes for planes. They are engineered to withstand far more stress than turbulence can dish out. Commercial aircraft undergo rigorous testing to ensure they can handle all kinds of conditions. They're designed to flex and bend, which might sound a bit alarming, but it's actually a crucial feature. This flexibility helps the plane absorb those bumps in the air, just like a suspension system in a car smooths out a rough ride. And here's the surprising part. Pilots are extensively trained to manage turbulence. They know how to navigate through or around it, utilizing both their training and modern technology. When they encounter turbulence, they communicate with air traffic control and can often find smoother altitudes. If you think about it, it's like a skilled driver who knows how to avoid potholes on a familiar route. While turbulence might be uncomfortable, it isn't a safety concern. Statistically, flying remains one of the safest modes of transportation. The likelihood of an incident caused by turbulence is a tiny fraction of overall flying experiences. So, the next time the plane shakes a bit, remind yourself that you're in a sturdy machine with experienced pilots at the helm. In short, turbulence is an everyday occurrence in aviation, and it's not something to worry about. Feel free to sit back, relax, and keep your seatbelt fastened. Flying is still incredibly safe. If this has helped calm your nerves about turbulence, consider subscribing for more insights into the world of flying. So, to answer your question, what causes turbulence? It all boils down to pockets of air. Imagine a calm lake on a sunny day. Now picture a sudden gust of wind stirring the water. That's similar to what happens in the sky. The atmosphere isn't always smooth. It is layers of air moving at different speeds and directions. These changes can be caused by several factors. For instance, when the wind blows over mountains, it creates waves of air on the downwind side, much like ripples. Then there are thermal currents, which are caused by the sun heating the ground. As warm air rises, it can create bumps in the air that a plane will fly through, similar to how a boat bobs over waves. And here's the surprising part. While it might feel unsettling when you experience turbulence, it's incredibly common and, most importantly, safe. Modern technology helps pilots predict and navigate around these pockets of turbulence, and aircraft are designed to handle these conditions. In fact, flying is one of the safest modes of transportation we have today, far safer than driving a car. So, turbulence is caused by various air movements influenced by natural factors, but with skilled pilots at the helm and advanced forecasting tools, the risk involved is minimal. That's what makes flying not just incredibly safe, but also remarkably efficient. If you're curious about more aviation secrets and want to understand flying a little better, you know what to do. Vocabulary: turbulence, pockets, currents, efficient.